Hello, my dear children. The topic of today's class is polarization of waves. So, what is polarization? Children, polarization is confinement of vibration of electric vector of an electromagnetic wave to one plane. If we confine the vibrations of electric vector of an electromagnetic wave to one plane, the phenomenon is called as polarization. Well, children, in unpolarized light, electric field vectors vibrate in all the planes passing through the direction of propagation of wave. But somehow, if we force electric field vectors to vibrate in a single plane, then the phenomenon is called as polarization. The light so obtained is called as plane polarized light or completely plane polarized light. And the device which does so is called as polarizer or polaroid. Well, children, this phenomenon, which is polarization, illustrates transverse nature of light. Only transverse waves can be polarized. Longitudinal waves cannot. Therefore, sound waves cannot be polarized because they are longitudinal waves. So, polarization illustrates transverse nature of the wave. Children, we know an unpolarized light or natural light have electric field vectors vibrating in all the planes passing through the direction of propagation of wave. What is the situation? We have already studied in the chapter electromagnetic waves. Well, there we have studied if this is your electric field vector, this is your magnetic field vector, then this is what? Direction of propagation of wave. So, these vectors not only vibrate, electric field vectors and magnetic field vectors not only vibrate perpendicular to Dopov, but they also rotate very fast like this. If this is electric field vector, this is magnetic field vector, this is direction of propagation of wave, then what happens? Not only these vectors vibrate like this, or this vector vibrate like this, but they also rotate very fast like this, and this rotation takes place very fast. So fast such that we cannot see the instantaneous position of an electric vector. If this is direction of propagation of wave, this is electric field vector. It not only vibrates like this, but it also rotates very fast. And the frequency of revolution is so high such that we find electric field vector lying in a radially symmetric fashion about any point over Dopov. If this is light moving in this direction, then electric field vector is visible here also, here also, here also, here also, here also, here also, everywhere it seems to lie in radially symmetric fashion about this point. Why? Because the frequency of revolution is very high. If the light is moving in this direction and this happens to be the electric field vector, well, so electric field vector not only vibrates up and down perpendicular to Dopov, but also it rotates very fast. As the result, it is visible about here, everywhere it is visible, and this is the diagram. This is the arrangement of electric field vector at this point over an electromagnetic wave. This is a point about Dopov. An electric field vector, since it rotates very fast, it is visible in all directions like this. And if the light is moving in this direction, towards right, say in this direction, then electric field vectors would be made like this. Electric field vectors are just like the spokes of a wheel. Electric field vectors are just like the spokes of a bicycle wheel. And this bicycle wheel is moving along axis. So if the light is moving in this direction, electric field vectors are in all the directions, just like the fingers, arranged in all direction about this point on Dopov. So what happens? electric field vector is in this plane also, electric field vector is in this plane also, electric field vector is in this plane, in every plane passing through direction of propagation of wave, we find electric field vector. Like this is point on Dopov, the electric field vector is in this plane also, in this plane also, in this plane also, in every plane passing through direction of propagation of wave. And that is what is natural light or unpolarized light. Now, if somehow we confine the vibration of these electric field vectors to just one plane, if this is direction of propagation of wave, electric field vector is here also, here also, here also, here also, everywhere. But if we confine the vibration of electric field vector to one plane, the phenomenon is called as polarization, and that is done by the device called polarizer. So, what is this polarizer? Let us see. Well, this is unpolarized light or natural light. I am writing unpolarized light as UPL or NL, natural light. So, this natural light which has electric field vectors in all direction falls over a slit. Falls over a slit. This is the wheel moving along axis, and if the wheel moving along its axis falls over a vertical slit like this, and the slit is so fine such that only one spoke of the wheel can pass across, then what will happen? If the wheel moving along its axis falls over this very fine slit, what will happen? The only spoke of the wheels which are parallel to the slit would be passing across, and rest all spokes are going to be blocked. So, if this light falls over this slit which is here over say a cardboard, well, this concept which I am telling you, I would be refining it further. So, just try to understand, this is very elementary and thus just the concept, beginning concept. So, we will further refine it very shortly. So, if this spoke of the wheel fall over this slit, then what will happen? The spokes of the wheel which are parallel to the slit would pass across like this. What are these spokes of the wheel? Spokes of the wheels are nothing but electric field vectors. So, when this kind of light falls over this vertical slit, the finger which is parallel to the slit will pass across. The rest all are going to be what? Blocked. So, what do we have on the other side? On the other side, we have electric field vectors vibrating only in one plane. And what is this plane? This plane passes through this slit. So, what is difference between this light and this light? This light has electric field vectors vibrating in all the planes passing through Dopov, but this light has electric field vectors vibrating only in one plane. Only in one plane which passes through this slit. So, what this device has done? This device has confined the vibration of electric field vector to one plane. The phenomenon is called as polarization of light, and the device which does so is called polarizer. What exactly is polarizer? We will know later on. Well, so this is the device which does so is polarizer. The light so obtained is called as completely plane polarized light, and the plane in which electric field vector of plane polarized light vibrate is called as plane of vibration, and the plane which is perpendicular to plane of vibration, this is the plane perpendicular to plane of vibration, this is plane perpendicular to plane of vibration, if this is vertical plane, then this is going to be what? Horizontal plane. So, this plane is called as plane of polarization, POP, plane of polarization. So, now one more thing you can see here. This is the slit which is lying in the path of this incident light. Now, if we rotate the slit like this, the plane in which the slit lies, if that plane rotates like this along its axis, this is the plane of the slit and this is the slit in the plane. And if this plane where the slit lies, this whole plane rotates, so what will happen? The slit also will rotate. So, if we rotate this plane, perpendicular to direction of propagation of wave, what will happen? Will there be variation of intensity across it? No, there would not be variation of intensity across it. Why? If the slit is like this, the spoke of the wheel which is parallel to the slit will pass across. If the slit is like this, once this is rotated, when the slit is like this finger is going to pass across, this finger is going to pass across. In whichever direction the slit moves to, in that direction there is an electric field vector ready to pass across. So what happens? The light which is obtained here has no variation of intensity. So if this is unpolarized light, and if this unpolarized light is passing over a polaroid or polarizer, and polarizer is rotated, then intensity of light across it does not vary. Well, now this light has its the plane of vibration fixed. Now if we place another polaroid in the path of this light, now this another polaroid is called as analyzer. Analyzer and polarizer are exactly similar or identical in constitution. So this device, which is same as polarizer, is now placed in the path of this polarized light, is placed in the path of polarized light. Now see, if we rotate this polarizer, which is called analyzer, perpendicular to this direction of propagation of wave, then what will happen? The intensity of light across it is going to vary. Why it is going to vary? Simply because, it is going to vary simply because the light which is falling over this device is already confined in one plane. The vibration of electric field vector in this light are confined to one plane, but here they are in all the plane. So if we rotate this particular device, which is same as polarizer and called as analyzer because of its position. So if we rotate analyzer, then what happens? The intensity of light across it varies, and the variation is given by law of Malus. Law of Malus. Children, law of Malus tells us the intensity of light across analyzer, the second polaroid. Well, according to law of Malus, intensity of light across analyzer is directly proportional to square of cosine of angle between these two slits. So intensity of light across analyzer is directly proportional to square of cosine of angle between these two slits. What are these slits? These slits are called as polarizing directions. So intensity of light across analyzer is directly proportional to cos square theta. What is theta? Theta is angle between these two slits, or we can say theta is angle between the polarizing directions of polarizer and analyzer. And if we remove sign of proportionality, we get a constant. That constant is I naught by 2. So intensity of light across analyzer is IA, it is I naught by 2 cos square theta. What is I naught? I naught is the intensity of unpolarized light, and the intensity of light here is I naught by 2 cos square theta. And if we plot IA against theta, we get a graph like this. Children, this graph is nothing but the graph of square of cos theta. You know the graph of cos theta? Just square it. Yeah, this is 0, this is 90 degree, this is 180 degree, this is 270 degree, and this is 360 degree, and so on. As we go on rotating this analyzer with respect to this polarizer, the intensity of light goes on varying, and it at angle theta is equal to 0, the intensity is maximum, and that is I naught by 2. And this intensity, when angle theta becomes 90, is what? 0. And thereafter the intensity increases, decreases, and the process continue. So what is this intensity? Why is intensity 0? We'll discuss it very shortly. Children, we are going to further refine the concept. So what is the refinement? See, this is unpolarized light. Intensity of unpolarized light is how much? I naught. Remember, this is light moving in this direction, and this is the arrangement of electric field vectors. Now see, what is going to happen here? This unpolarized light can be represented by two perpendicular components of electric field vectors. Why two components? See, these are electric field vectors of the light moving in this direction. And if we take two perpendicular axes in the plane of these electric field vectors, suppose one perpendicular axis is like this, and the other perpendicular axis is what? Like this. Now children, we can see that the vectors, electric field vectors which are in first quadrant, they can be resolved along these two perpendicular axes. Likewise, electric field vectors lying in the second quadrant, they can also be resolved along these two perpendicular axes. So all those electric field vectors which are lying in between the perpendicular axis, they can be resolved along these two perpendicular axes. This can also be resolved along these two perpendicular axes. That means whole of this unpolarized light whose intensity is I naught can be denoted by electric field vectors which are perpendicular to each other. Yeah, the whole unpolarized light can be represented by two components, one along one perpendicular axis, other along the other perpendicular axis. So all the field vectors in between, they can be resolved along these two perpendicular axes. So we are finally left with electric field vectors only along these two axes. So this is unpolarized light, this is also unpolarized light, and an unpolarized light can be represented by two component of field vectors. One of them is what? If whole intensity is I naught, then the intensity of this component would be what? I naught by 2, and intensity of the other component is going to be what? I naught by 2. So every unpolarized light can be represented by two perpendicular component of field vectors which are of course perpendicular to each other. But where are these perpendicular directions? These perpendicular directions can be any. So when this unpolarized light falls over this slit, the two components are what? Two components are like this. One component is taken as what? Like this, another component is like this. If the light is moving in this direction, the two perpendicular components are like this. Two components are like this. And if the light is traveling in this direction, then the two components would be what? One would be like this, the other would be what? Like this. So this component is made by this circle, and this component is of course very clearly visible. So the two components of this unpolarized lights have intensity I naught by 2 each. And when this light falls over this polaroid, so one component which is parallel to the slit passes across, and the other component is completely blocked. That is why the intensity of light across polarizer is what? Yeah, it is I naught by 2. And that intensity remains constant. Why it remains constant? When we rotate this, in whichever direction we may take this slit to, one direction is always parallel to the slit. One component, out of two components, one component is always taken parallel to the slit, and another is always taken perpendicular to the slit. As told to you, these two are perpendicular components, but these perpendicular components can be in any direction. So one of the two component is always taken parallel to the slit in whichever direction the slit may move to. One component is always taken parallel to the slit, other component is perpendicular to the slit, and the one which is parallel to the slit passes across, and intensity across it does not vary. See, we human beings cannot identify the plane of vibration. As we rotate this polaroid, the plane of vibration varies, and by our eyes, by our naked eye, we cannot identify the plane of vibration. We can only see the intensity which remains invariant. So what is the intensity of light across this particular polarizer? Well, it is I naught by 2, and that remains constant. And when we rotate this analyzer, then the intensity varies by law of Malus. Children, we have just studied the basics of polarization of waves. How are these plane polarized light produced? What is partially plane polarized light? So still the production of plane polarized light is left. So we'll meet very shortly with the other half of the polarization. So this is all for the time being. Thank you very much, and God bless you all.